So we're talking marriage today, and maybe that doesn't really apply to you. Maybe you're 12, or maybe you're looking for someone, or maybe you've been divorced. But we want to talk about positive relationships here on this channel, and we've been married for 13 years now. I know we look so youthful and just vibrant, but 13 years is a long time, and we have struggled together, and we have an amazing marriage because we are strategic. And so here's 6 ideas that will help you in your relationships.
The first one is communicate, communicate, communicate. And this is crucial. I mean, one of the biggest things.
Hands down.
And I would say, honestly, to call out the ladies a little bit, I'm totally guilty of this, of making assumptions that my hints or my nudgings are enough for Noah to know what I'm expecting of him. And
men are not mind readers, and we are very stupid as a species. We need it very clear. You got to lay it out there. No, well, I kind of hinted at this. No. It's got to be clear.
So communicate. If you want something, tell your spouse or tell your friend. I think that these points, they apply to all relationships. So don't force people to guess what you're feeling or guess what you're wanting. Communicate. Tell them. Be upfront. Be honest. Tell them if you don't know what you need to communicate. Say, I don't really know what I'm feeling, but I'm upset. Just give me some time. That also counts as communicating. And on the flip side, be willing to listen. And I would call out Noah on that a little bit, because sometimes when I have a problem, he's such a fixer. He's just like, well, you need to do this, and call them, and call the manager, and storm the gates.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes I just need to say what I'm upset about, and I need him to listen.
And I just need to shut my face and listen and say, honey, I'm here for you.
And that could be opposite in your relationships. I don't know, but that's how it is for us.
And if you're hurt, if somebody hurts you, communicate. Let them know. Okay, don't sulk. Don't hold a grudge. Talk about it. Second thing, swallow your freaking pride. Serve one another. Serving one another. Some of the best marriage advice I ever got from somebody was that marriage should be a competition to outserve one another, or friendship, or any relationship, right? We should look to serve one another. And oftentimes our pride gets in the way. We know that we're right and they're wrong, and I'm gonna fight until I am justified. And that is the quickest way to an incredible fight. Mm-hmm. Swallow your pride. Serve one another.
Yeah.
Work together.
It's hard to be angry at someone, even if they did something that they shouldn't have. It's hard to be angry with someone who is constantly looking for ways to help you, to serve you, to love you.
And don't wait until they deserve to be served, or until you're in a good mood. I mean, serve when you don't want to. Serve when you're just ticked off at them. And that's sometimes the quickest way to healing for yourself. And it's the quickest way to get you back in a right relationship. You can dig your heels in, and we've done that. We've been there. We've had we've had fights that lasted for days because we wouldn't swallow our pride, and we wanted to win.
And along with that, like being the first to apologize, even though it hurts your pride so much. And even if the other person needs to apologize to you, don't drag it out. Just say you're sorry. Say what you did wrong, and let them figure out what they did wrong if they need to. Point number 3, intentionally date and pursue one another. So this is really important because marriage, to keep your marriage vibrant and your love alive, it doesn't just happen. You have to work at a marriage, and part of working is taking time for each other. Taking time where you put your phone down, you look each other in the eye, you talk to each other, you communicate, you do something that you love together. This is really, really important, and if you want to see your marriage go downhill, then live your 2 separate lives for a while, and do whatever it is that you love without including your spouse, and it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I think that's the secret to any relationship is intentionality, right? Good relationships are built, not found. And so it's important for us to still have the same level of energy as we did when we were dating. And I was writing love notes, and I was waking up at 5 a.m. just to run with her because I just wanted to spend time with her. And it's not like once you have this on your finger that it's just like, all right, well, I'll see you at dinner. that's the quickest way to an unhealthy relationship. You got to keep pursuing each other and keep intentionally spending time together.
And it doesn't have to be fancy. Like Noah said, some of our best dates are going on runs together. That's free. It's fun. It's something that we both love to do. Also, like Costco samples are a great date. It doesn't need to cost a bunch of money, but it should be a regular thing where you set aside time for one another.
Fourth, you need to establish your family. Your family. You need to separate from your parents and your siblings and all those other traditions and the way that it used to be, and establish your family, because we've had more fights about in-laws and crazy relatives than we have had about almost anything. And
Which is kind of surprising, because it totally caught me off guard, because I love Noah's family so much and he loves mine so much. It's not anything about like them being particularly
if you're watching
crazy.
this, family, we love you. We love you. Okay, but we have fought about you. Yes, you. And if you're married, if you've been married for more than 10 minutes, you're commenting same, right? Because it's difficult. You're melding two families, two pasts, two traditions, two ways of life into one. But you need to establish your family and get some separation.
Number 5, forgive repeatedly and laugh often. So one of the things that we've been working on this year is pre-forgiveness, and trying to think more about someone's actual intentions for when they do something that bothers you or that hurts your feelings, and not assume the worst about them. So having some pre-forgiveness in your life, like I'm always going to try to give Noah the benefit of the doubt. That's one of my goals, that he wasn't intentionally trying to annoy me or hurt me or whatever. And so that's kind of the first step that we're going to be working on this year in forgiveness. But in a marriage, be ready to forgive all the time.
Every day.
And try to do it quickly. The more you drag it out, it just doesn't really achieve anything.
Absolutely. You can create for yourself this prison of offense where you can just, they did this and they said this, and you can drag that on for years and be miserable. Or you can drop it. Realize that it's not that big of an issue. It's not worth killing your marriage over. It's not worth killing your joy over. Okay, just drop it yourself.
Because if you're putting your spouse in that prison, you're putting yourself in the prison as well. You can't expect to find joy and love in your marriage when you're holding their happiness and their joy and their love ransom because of some offense in the past.
That's good. That's good. And laugh often. Make each other laugh. And just have a lighthearted approach to so many things, especially when you're parents. We find ourselves laughing oftentimes at the point where we're almost crying, where we're like so frustrated, and we'll just like laugh because it's just so ridiculous, like what we're dealing with.
Like this morning when Ruben's diaper somehow fell out of his clothes and we found him standing in his poop.
He's standing in poop. Literally
but his
in the
pants are
kitchen.
still on.
I don't know how he snaked it out of his leg of his shorts. It's ridiculous. And Megan's like, there's poop. And we're just, I mean, that would be a great chance to be like, you didn't put the diaper on right. Or like, go clean this up. And what? And we just laughed. And then we cleaned up the poop. But laugh often. Lastly, remember that you're on the same team. You signed up for this, right? Till death do us part. You remember that when you spent way too much money and put way too much product in your hair, and you said those things in front of those people and held those hands, and you're on the same team. You signed up for this. And whether or not things are going terribly or they're going great, realize that you're on the same team. Give each other the benefit of the doubt. Okay? And like we said, don't hold each other in this prison of offense. Okay? The more that you operate as a team, the more that you work together and communicate and do all of these things, the more amazing your marriage and your relationships are going to be. So put these into practice. Try them out. Give them a test.
And I would just add that if you do have an issue in your marriage, get help. Don't wait.
Yes.
Get help now. Get help today. Go and see a counselor. Go and talk to someone who has some expertise and can help you navigate the issues that you're dealing with. There's no shame in that, and you don't don't need to suffer longer than is necessary.
You don't need to suffer
may
at
need
all,
help.
right? Marriages are meant to be enjoyed, not endured, right? So seek help. Go sit down with a counselor. Suck it up. Swallow your pride, like we talked about earlier, and go do it. You'll benefit from it. Drag your spouse there, kicking and screaming. Doesn't matter. Get
or
there.
go on your own. Start with that.
Exactly.
And bring them along at some point. But start to get some input from someone who can help.
And this is just bonus. I just thought of it right now. Start with yourself, right? Don't try to change the other person. If there's an issue, if there's a problem, stop pointing fingers. We need to point more thumbs and less fingers, right? We need to establish that we, yes, you and me, have issues. And until we work on those, we can't hold somebody accountable for what they're not doing or what they should be doing or what they should have said or how they should have acted. We love you guys so much. We want you to win at life. We want you to become your best self and have amazing relationships. Continue to comment below. We love hearing from you guys, and on Instagram. It's the joy of our life to donate our time to this channel and to help you become your best self. So consider subscribing. Tune in next month, first of every month, for a new video. We love you. We're here for you. Go win. Adios.